go and welcome our first friend to the stage, Connor himself, Sean Patrick Flannery. Sean, come on up, brother. Welcome to the show, my friend. Slide up. Come on down. The next one all the way to the end. All right, and next up, our friend Murphy is here as well. Norman, we get to roll. Norman. Should have some hot mics ready to roll. Gents, thank you guys for coming out. I know Norman, you spent some time in Atlanta, a little bit of time there. Yeah. Some of your time. Sean, how long have you been in town for? Have you done lots of shows here, or just like kind of passing through?
Sunday.
Just here for Sunday, you're sitting in and out.
Sunday, I flew out of Stillwater, Oklahoma. There's 2 flights out of there a day. I'm not kidding. When you fly back, there's 2 flights in. Like planes only go to Dallas. So I'm there because my boys are wrestling in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
So man, it's a quick trip for me.
Makes sense.
But that dude's got to go like to the North Pole next.
Would you ask me how long I'm here?
Well, you've been coming here for a while.
Oh, yeah.
Like you're familiar with Atlanta. I was an Atlanta kid myself, so like you just rolled in off the street and like, all right, I guess it's where I'm at today.
Yeah, no, I was in New York, went to LA for something.
Nice.
I'm a little asleep right now.
Okay,
You look like John Bernthal, this guy right here.
Right in the front.
You're actually right. You do look like Bernthal.
Right there. Yeah. You're not John, right? No, all right. That's what John would say. All right, so friends, because in the interest of time, I want to go and get some questions rolling. We talked about where our lines are going to be. So if you've got questions for these fellas, go ahead and start lining up over here, and we'll kind of get the house going while we get the line set up here. So guys, thank you guys so much for being here. Obviously, this is, again, I had this moment earlier, 25 years since this movie came out. What an incredible journey, just experience it's been to have this underneath you guys. Like, we always ask the question, did you think this is where you're at? But like, what does it feel like to be able to look back, hopefully fondly and kindly, on 25 years of this experience and still have these moments like this?
Yeah, I mean, there's still a fan base for it. Sean and I, we're kind of synonymous with that brand. And there's so many rumors back and forth for many years. But I mean, we are the Boondock Saints. So, I can't imagine if something happens, we wouldn't be in there. So, but it's nice. It's, that movie was like lightning in a bottle. It was a cult film that didn't get released because of certain events that happened. And it's the highest rented DVD of Blockbuster above Titanic. You know what I mean? So.
I grew up in a college town. Like I was one of those friends that had the VHS copy. I'm like, here you go. You got to go see this. Like we were just like passing copies of around because college town. That's all we had to do. Like sit around, watch movies, and that was like heavy rotation for us. So what's it been like for you looking back, feeling the same excitement, relation to the product that you're still here with it?
I mean, it's flattering as hell after all these years that there's a room full of people that want to ask you questions about a movie that you did that long ago, you've already been paid for, and this is kind of a currency that just keeps on going. It's kind of fan adoration. People love the film, man. It feels good. It feels good to have ever done something that impacted people like that. I mean, my boy here hadn't done much since then, but I made it good.
All right, cool. Well, we've got some friends here with some questions. I want to kind of dive in, and for our friends in the house, our first question is actually right here.
First of all, thank you for being with us. I have a question, mostly for Norman, that's done acting with the same character for a long time, but for both of you. When an actor plays a role for a long time, how do you unravel from that character? Does it stay with you? Have you ever had problems disconnecting once that you leave that role? I was just curious because I'm
there's a friend of mine, John Macaluso, that used to do this convention, and I saw him recently in New York. We went to dinner, and I was like, "Do you remember when I stuck a steak knife in your kneecap?" And he was like, "Yeah." Were you there? I think you were there. But I was doing knife fights all day, like all day, chop. And I raced up, it was in Atlanta, I raced up to dinner, I was like, I saw like blood on my neck and stuff, and I get to dinner, I'm I'm late, and I sit down, tired, thinking about the whole day, and I put my phone on the table, and he reached up and grabbed my phone, and real quick, I grabbed his steak knife, stuck it in his kneecap, and yanked my phone back. And I was like, oh shit, sorry. And he's sitting there with like a knife in his knee. But like, I just did it real quick. I was sort of impressed how fast I did it. But yeah, like, I go back home to New York on the weekends, and tourists on sidewalks in New York is like the worst, right? And I would see a group of tourists, and in my mind, I'd think, okay, if I hit that one in the ankle, I could push him over this guy, and then I'd take this one by the hair, I could throw it down, push it, like the fastest way to get through the crowd with the least amount of work. And so it would stick with me in weird ways, like that. Efficiency, yeah, yeah, it would stay with me.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm gonna get harassed.
I would love to know how you guys think in our current world, how technology and specifically social media would influence the public's reaction to the things. I think about in both films how like the news and the interviews with people, how that impacted so many people's perception. So I would love to know today how you think people would react and how the internet would influence that.
To be honest here, with this reverb, I can't hear a fucking thing.
Can we get the monitors tightened a little bit? And while you're doing that, I'll clarify the question. The question was, in the age of social media, what do you think the response is? If the movies were released today, what do you think social media would be, how social media would be responding to it?
Well, no, within the universe, since they were always talking to people on the news.
Oh, gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha. In the context of the film,
Yeah.
how social media would interact in the concept of the film itself, because there was a lot of music conversation. We good?
Yeah.
I think it's an amplifier for everything. It's like Spinal Tap. This one goes to 11. Maybe back in the analog world it went to 8. Now we go to 11. It's a megaphone for every thought, idea, secret, and dream.
Do you think it would be more positive or more negative for the Saints?
Well, I don't think that would change the ratio at all.
Interesting.
I think the metrics are what the metrics are. There's a handful of people that want somebody to get off the bar stool and serve out some justice where it's deserved, and there's other people that, everybody should be allowed to do whatever with no repercussions.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Hi. My question is actually, I'm going to ask it for my husband who's right there. He's from Boston. He's a Southie. And so he wanted to know, while you guys were in Boston filming the Boondock Saints, when you weren't on set, sleeping, rehearsing, when you actually had some downtime, what were some of your favorite places to go when you were in Boston?
Strip club.
That's everyone's favorite place to go everywhere.
I'm just kidding. We just have never been to a strip club. But it's funny. We shot the exteriors in Boston. We shot everything else in Toronto. So it was kind of bizarre. I met Regis before Boondock Saints, so we knew each other prior to that, and realizing like they're going to send us to a foreign country with a pocket full of per diem across the street from the Brass Rail, which is a world famous strip club, kind of blew my mind. It's amazing that we showed up for work, but we did, and that's because we're disciplined individuals, and we never went to that club, did we?
But our whole crew did every day. Be like, where's the cameraman? Oh, he's on his way back.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi. In the movie Boondock Saints, you had tattoos on your hand in Latin. Do you remember what they were and what they meant?
Veritas, truth and justice. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
It's a fucking steel trap.
Say that. And Norman, we miss seeing you around Georgia.
Yeah, I tell you, one of the things that I miss most about filming here is the people and the country. I didn't come up to Atlanta a whole lot. I sort of stayed down in the woods. And, I ride motorcycles down there, and I miss that because, I ride a bike to work thinking about what I'm going to do today. think about what I did on the way home, but I miss the country.
You're talking about you're in New York now, right? And so we're coming back from New York a lot, so there's a bit juxtaposition between like the bustle of just humanity to being out in the middle of nowhere, being able to ride a bike around. So that can be, you know, a bit of a whiplash in a sense there.
Yeah, I mean, I have a house in the country, just not this country. But yeah, like when I first came here, I'd like stop to buy gum or something at a gas station and be like, "How was your day? The weather is really nice today." I'd be like, "Why are we fucking talking? Just give me the gum," you know? Right? And then after a while, I was the guy going, "Hey, how was your day? How's the weather?" You know? Yeah. It's different. Yeah.
Hi, my question is mainly for Norman. I was wondering what was the accent like for Boondock Saints?
Sean's was better.
So
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, it was, Sean had it down. I was like kind of struggling with it a lot. And then having Billy on set helped me a little bit, although he's not Irish. But yeah, it was hard for me. You know, you don't want to sound like, you know, like the Lucky Charms elf. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'd never really done a movie like that before. I've never really tried to do an accent or something like that. So it was harder for me. And then that scene where we're speaking like Latin and Spanish and everything else in the room with Will, I couldn't remember all those fucking lines. Like and the camera was going in a circle around us. Every time it went behind Willem, he'd go. It was just fucking me up the whole time. I mean, and we thought it was so funny. And we ended up putting my lines on a card. So you've seen that scene, I'm like looking up and reading my lines above his head. And a piece of cardboard.
Those cue cards everywhere.
Yeah.
And I was looking at readers because no shit, Willem Dafoe's back there going, looking right at the camera going, the red circle, brother. So it was fucking hysterical. But no way, you had to learn that shit phonetically. You know, it's a language we don't speak. It was crazy. But Willem was a fun dude like that. He was fun.
I love Will.
You're like getting the job done.
Yeah. You know, even like jumping off stuff, I was like, I'm gonna break something. And then he's doing like a triple flip, you know. I was kind of like the Whippy brother.
Thank you.
Yes, hello. This is a question from Norman. I just wanted to know what kind of like experience from your life inspired your books that you made?
Geez, there's a whole bunch of it. Well, how it starts off at a motorcycle shop and I get in a fight with my boss because he kicked his dog. That happened. Some of it, you know, it's wild. Like some of it's they always ask you to write a story about your life, and I'm like, all my friends will beat me up if I write a story about my life. So it has a bit of me in it, and then there's a story. I was sitting on a plane coming from Uruguay to Costa Rica, and I'd just been in the dirt like for 4 days. So my backpack had sand coming out of it. I was completely smelly and filthy. I'm sitting on this plane, and how they do it is they bounce me to the next place and meet a B unit. They pick me up, start filming me, and the A unit comes and catches up, and then we leapfrog, doing ride episodes is what I'm talking about. So I was on the plane, and this big guy in shorts kind of sits next to me, and people are going, "Hey, can I get your autograph?" And it's happening all the time. I'm super gross, and finally he goes, "Who are you?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm on a TV show, that's what that is." And we start talking, and he goes, "Tell me about his life," right? He says his mom died, and on her deathbed said, "Run away, just do me a favor, run away." And he owns one of the largest Fortune 500 companies in the world. I never asked him what it was, because I figured he'd tell me if he wanted me to know. And he says his mom dies, and then he says his wife died. And he didn't know what to do with himself, so he told his people he works with, "Hey, I'm just gonna go out for a while," right? So he'd meet somebody, and they go, "You know what, you should go to Chile." He's like, "Okay." "You should go to Portugal." "Okay." So he's bouncing around with a backpack, like, right? And I'm sitting here listening to his story, and he starts crying, right? And he goes, you know, I've spent my whole life making money, right? And he goes, I've wasted my whole life, right? And he starts telling me his story, and that kind of morphed into a character. I was trying to make a television show about kids that run away in hot trains, so I had a lot of info on that already, so I was trying to write a script about that, so that kind of became sort of a story. Like, I have a friend who plays in that band Mastodon, and he used to hop trains as a kid, so I had all these different stories from different people, you know? So it kind of morphed some of me and some stuff, you know? That's a long ass answer.
Hi, my question is for both of y'all. Would y'all ever want to do like another Boondock Saints spin-off of some sort at all, like a TV show or a movie?
Yes, yes.
All you, brother. you know, maybe under different circumstances. You know what I mean? It's like Walking Dead. Like I'm doing a spin-off in France, right? And it's fucking great. I mean, it's fucking great. But after 12 years of doing that show here, like, if you're gonna ask me to do something else in a different country, I had to reboot it. It has to be a different flavor. I can't just do the same thing for a 13th year, you know? And it's fucking great. So if Boondock Saints came under a different set of circumstances, with a different director and a different idea, and it was different, yeah. But if it's, I wouldn't do it with Troy directing, I'll be honest with you, you know? It would have to be something new, you know? And I know there's an appetite for it, it would have to be the right set of circumstances, you know? All right?
We're both on the same page as that. I mean, we both love it. It's the first big thing either one of us have ever done. You know, it's the main thing that I'm known for. And we both love it. We love its history, but it would have to be in the right package, and we haven't seen that package yet. I think that's fair. But everything that you said, I completely agree with 100%, man. We talk about it frequently, but we adore the project and the history and the nostalgia. And, yeah.
Hello. So my question is, see, I would have forgotten if I didn't write it down. In the cat, we all know the cat scene. After the fact,
That cat was a dick, by the way.
after the cat scene, there's a picture of it on the wall where it, died. Whose idea was that to put a picture of the cat?
Sean's.
Let me tell you, man, that was an air cannon. It was like a 12-inch diameter air cannon. It shot random shit. Like, it would launch things 30, 40 yards. And we would go to the back, they call it the beach, right, in Toronto. It was a fucking lake. And like, yeah, the beach. I'm like, fuck out of here. It's not. Anyway, we'd shoot shit into this lake, and it sounded like a 12-gauge shotgun, like ham sandwiches, 40 yards out there. And when we get there to shoot this, I mean, it sounded like a fucking cannon going off. And we had only heard it outside. Then they put it in a small room, and Rocco goes, so, Sean, no, is it loud? And we were like, ooh. No! So what you see is 100% legit. The dude pissed himself. Rock flipped the fuck out, jumped up, and because it did. I mean, I think I broke my eardrums that day, and it's what you see is 100% legit in that scene. And it was spaghetti, tomato sauce, and random other shit that we threw in the cannon to go get some wall. Half the shit was from catering that day.
Awesome, thank you guys. Love both of you.
So what I'm hearing, that was just one take. You guys didn't have to go through that hell. Thank God. All right.
Okay, I know you said you're mainly known for this movie, and of course, if anybody says you're known for Walking Dead. But did y'all think this movie was gonna be such a cult following and like be as big as it was?
I don't think you know that's going to happen. Yeah, I mean, the Columbine shooting happened, and nobody would touch that film, and then Troy, I think, rented out a theater to show it to the crew. Was that right? Right, and then, yeah, I didn't go to that, but like the story was, oh, we went to one theater. Like, we didn't even go to one theater. He rented out the theater just to show it to the crew. But it just got bigger and bigger, and I remember like, it was all Blockbuster back then, and I remember going to a Blockbuster, and it was like, the entire wall was Boondock Saints DVDs, and they were all gone. And I remember the guys at Blockbuster sent us a cake from Japan, a picture of like them having a party around a cake, 'cause it was the highest rented DVD ever at Blockbuster, you know, but I don't think you know that's ever going to happen, you know. You're right, I mean, you can't tell if something like that's going to happen.
Yeah, if there was a recipe, I think you could replicate it. Organic way it happened is, you know, you do it. There's so many variables that can fuck up a film or a TV show. Even though you read an amazing script, any one participant can fuck it up. So I thought the script was amazing. We both did. We made the movie, but I've made a career out of making films that you've never seen. You know what I mean? And I'm very grateful. This was one that, you know, and then when it didn't hit, you thought, okay, whatever, it's just another one for whatever reason. And it's that t-shirt right there. This motherfucker called me from Venice, right? You're in Venice Beach, and he's like, dude, I just saw both of our faces on a t-shirt. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? Like, no shit. He's like, no, I swear to God, look up. What the fuck are you talking about? That's how it happened. Then I went to Blockbuster on Sunset and Fairfax, and I called him, I'm like, dude, there's a fucking shelf, like one shelf. And then he'd call me, he's like, no, there's not a shelf. There's a whole fucking section. And then like 3 weeks later, I'm like, there's not a section, it's a wall. And it just happened like, what the? It was crazy, I mean, it really was. And the numbers are true, there's no more powerful endorsement than a friend going, dude, drink that.
Yeah.
Any advertising campaign can tell you that the cows come home to drink, and you're like, yeah, fuck off. But your friend does it, and this had that kind of magic. It's you know, it happened organically, and it was kind of neat to watch.
So it was like you watched yourself become nostalgic for what you did.
We became cult icons.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was fucking nuts. But you know, I remember we did a USO tour, and the line of people, you know, he's doing like wrestling and martial arts with soldiers, right? Like 1,000 soldiers in the heat in, what was it, where were we? Djibouti. Bahrain. And oh, I thought that was a dog, it's two little girls. I was like, look at the cute dog rolling around. Oh, it's two girls over there. But like the people, like we had all the colonels, we had all the fucking people in the military, just like there was Boondock Saints posters everywhere. It was nuts. That whole thing was nuts.
Well, it's awesome. Thank y'all.
Yeah.
You know, one of the best stats is on that USO tour, we found out that the second most popular dorm room poster was Boondock Saints. The first was Scarface. Then in the military barracks, the #1 poster was Boondock, and #2 was Scarface. But watching that happen organically, it was also cool. The next phase, we were in a hotel room, like maybe the 3rd or 4th episode of Walking Dead came out, and Reedus had his Twitter. He's like, look at this shit. Remember that? And it was his Twitter account. He's like, look, and it was going up by 5,000 every time he glanced at it. You remember that? I don't even remember the city we were in. He's like, look at this shit. He's like, what the fuck? Like seeing that happen again organically was a lot like Boondock. Like, no, a section, no, 2 sections, no, 3. It was like you saw it happen. Like, and just the popularity with The Walking Dead just like come alive. It was, it's neat to watch it like that. It really is.
If you guys feel like I witnessed it twice too, because you know, conventions like this in the 90s and early 2000s were mostly Star Trek, right? They were mostly sci-fi things. I work for other shows, pop culture cons had been a thing, but like really weren't their own thing until like the last 15 years or so. So like to see kind of, you mentioned like, oh, this is alive because of fans here in the audience, these fans keep it going. To kind of come from that time when none of this was really available for you guys unless you were a sci-fi property. To have this fandom still continuing to be here before social media, before pop cons like these, and still show up for you guys, it's gotta be unreal. And then the Twitter thing as well, just to see how that all factors in. To live that
It's got to be so wild. We heard about these conventions in like '08 or something, right? Something about that. And it was like, when did Walking Dead start? 2010?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so like we've done our first convention, and like 2 years later, he got, and I remember you got that part, and we watched the trailer, and I told you, I'm like, dude, this fucking thing is gonna catch on fire. He's like, you think? You remember? We were in Burbank.
I thought they were gonna kill me off like any minute.
We were in Burbank. And let me tell you something. You know, they started Happy Days. It was about Richie Cunningham, right? Took 2 episodes to everybody to realize shit's about the farms. Same thing with The Walking Dead, man. It took 2 minutes for people to go, it's about that fucking winged motherfucker. It's about fucking Daryl Dixon. It's and it was neat watching that happen to a buddy of yours. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Cool, thanks.
I'm bad with microphones. Let me make sure. Okay. Thank you both for being here. Big fans. Love you and Suicide Kings.
Thank you, brother.
Boondock Saints is my favorite movie, without a doubt. And I'm curious, as far as action movies goes, there's no secret that there's a lot of gun training. Was there a good bit of gun training in the first movie, since the McManus brothers were more so amateurs, or was it kind of just, you just kind of did your own thing?
Well, I'm from Texas.
Oh, okay.
He's a much better shot than me. Yeah, they're like way better. Gun training, yeah, we had gun training. Yeah, we did some gun, we like taking apart guns, putting them back together and all that stuff. Yeah, it was really physical, that first one. Yeah, I still hurt my shoulder. It's still messed up from Boondock Saints. Yeah, because we had.
Do you remember the Desert Eagles in part 2? Yeah, he did. He had like fucked up rotator cuff, and so those were like 5-pound guns. So he had to swing it to get it up because his rotator.
Yeah, it hurt like hell. Yeah, but you know the Desert Eagles, and they had these silencers on them that were custom made, which were like another 10 pounds. But it was literally like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, you know, it was so painful. Even right now, I'm having like we call PRP shots in my shoulder because of that injury. And then, you know, Walking Dead, I'm swinging this mace over my head all day. And I just like, you know, I went and I saw a doctor who does like the Giants and stuff. And he's like, man, you must have an insane pain threshold. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, I got professional athletes with half your problem, crying like a baby. I'm like, I'm just used to being in pain all the time. And it's, you know, it's also, you tackle those stuntmen, and I always use my right shoulder like an idiot, but they're huge. Like I never fight a little guy, like ever. And you know, they're like, let's kill the actor. And they're like, yeah, you know, they get all jacked. And you're like, motherfucker. But it's because of Boondock Saints, my shoulder's messed up. I still to this day.
And to this day, I love the movie. I got 4 Boondock Saints tattoos on me. Just, I love it. It's just great stuff.
Thank you.
Penelope.
Hello, Sean and Norman. It's been a long time since I've seen you guys. I also have to write down my question because I just recently turned 40 and I remember what the heck I'm saying. So, you guys have done some amazing things, like you've known each other for a while. Brothers in life, brothers in films. Mrs. Margaret, is there anything you might see, an idea where you might see yourself doing something other than Boondock Saints, playing brothers, or co-stars, or something more interlocked? And also, you, Norman, have also worked on Ride, one of your passion projects. You, Sean, Born Again. And what's up in the future that you didn't talk about? It's kind of a little bit of a packed question.
I'd love to work with Sean again. Yeah, I think we got really good chemistry on camera. It's the brother thing totally works for us. He's like, you know, he's like your big brother that has your back, but also like plays tricks on you all the time.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of perfect. I'd love to work with him again. Yeah, for sure.
Likewise, you know, you don't you don't get movies with the best buddy. It doesn't happen. And like I said, I knew Regis before Boondock, and it's just rare. You know, you usually meet people on the first day, and you exchange numbers, and hey, we're gonna have lunch when we get back to LA. You never fucking do. This motherfucker has been in my cell phone memory since before Boondock, and I'll tell you this, no shit. And I'm sure you have similar stories. You accumulate a lot of acquaintances, a lot of people, but there's very few people that you worked with that you stay buddies with for that long. And it's because it's a real dude, a real motherfucker. Like a real motherfucker. And,
We're really friends.
yeah. And so it's rare, you know what I mean? It's rare and it's a good time, and I'll take it for granted.
Thank you so much.
And thank you. You guys have been a big inspiration for me going into my own career for stunt performing, which I just got into last year and have gotten my SAG and everything. So thank you all.
I followed that on Facebook, so congratulations.
Thank you.
You're legit as a stunt performer.
Yes.
Good for you.
So you guys will provide inspiration for going up on that. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you. That's fantastic.
It's like the people's court.
Howdy, Hal. I was just wondering, if y'all was to redo Boondocks, how do you think the brothers would be now, after all these years? Do you think they would still be badass, or more laid back?
They'd be fucking shit up. Fucking I mean, Regis would probably be calling me and going, "Hey man, I hit that dude on the other street," but.
That would be great though if we did one where like in Florida, like
a Jerry
we're sitting there with like a Coors Light in our hand, like like a lawn chair, like yeah, that would be great.
There's some bad guys on East Fifth. I ain't getting up, pretending to the whippersnappers to go fucking shoot them.
Thank you, guys.
Dun 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 dun, right?
In my head.
How's guys going? I was just curious if you guys have any of your own TV shows or perhaps animes that you guys love or go to often?
What's your fandoms?
You know what I'm really into right now is Love on the Spectrum. It's like the greatest show. Like there's, you ever seen that? It's so good. It's on Netflix, right? I started with season 2 first by accident, but it's so cute. It was like,
can you do that? Does it fuck it up or?
No.
Like, do I need to start on season 2?
No. But there's like this one couple, and like do you guys see that? They went to the lion reserve together. But that couple, like every time she kisses her boyfriend, she goes, "Thank you." It's so cute. Yeah, it's such a cool show. That I don't know how I would make that, but it's that's kind of my go-to show right now. Yeah, I really like it.
Man, right now we're watching Yellowstone. I never, for whatever reason, I'm digging it so far too, but I just missed that. I really probably see fewer shows or movies than anybody. I run a jiu-jitsu academy and I'm doing other shit the whole time. I got 2 boys at home. But, so it's rare. So we just started watching Yellowstone and I fucking love it. I was up in Toronto because I was doing, I was shooting the boys up there, and I binge watched Ozark. Did you see this? That was awesome. Fucking killer! Holy shit, that was killer, man!
My friends suggested the show.
Yeah, but, and I'm new to binge watching too, which is, holy shit. Like back in the day when I was a kid, you had to wait a week, and by then you fucking forgot what happened last week. Commercials, you forgot even in between the commercials. Man, this binge shit is genius. I watched Ozark, I was sequestered in Toronto, and I think I watched the entire show in 3 days. Which, I was like, I couldn't get it out. So now it's Yellowstone. And I guess after Yellowstone, I gotta see 18. Yeah. And that's good too? Yeah. All right. Yellowstone's good, man. Have you seen it?
Yeah, it's great. I saw it when it first came on. Ozark's one of the best shows ever. Also, Slow Horses is really good. With Gary Oldman. Yeah, Slow Horses.
I'll check
That's his new show. It's great.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Thank you, guys.
Heads up, guys. We've got about 3 minutes left, so we're going to try to get through this last little bit as long as we can. Sit tight. So we'll kind of go through. Go for it. Oh my God, it's amazing.
This question is for Norman. How did your acting career start?
I got drunk at a party and started yelling at a bunch of people. Somebody came up to me and said, "Hey, you ever thought about being an actor?" I said, "Get away from me." And then they took me to pizza. After we went to pizza, and they called the director who was directing the play. And she sort of showed up, and they were like, you can, how about if you're the understudy? And an understudy is somebody that doesn't act, it's like a backup in case somebody gets sick or doesn't show up. And I was like, how much you pay me? Right? And so I went to all the rehearsals, kind of sat in the back, had the worst time ever. And then the first day, that actor didn't show up. And I had to go out and do it, and I had no idea what I was doing. Wasn't really paying attention when I was there in the first place. And I kind of winged it, and there was an agent from William Morris in the audience that signed me. And I just started booking movies. Yeah. Yeah, just go get drunk. Thank you.
I just want to piggyback off of what she said. I think you guys should do a rom-com or a comedy, sort of something. You guys are really funny. But I would love to see that. Norman, what I was wondering was, when you are completely finished with The Walking Dead, will you get a tattoo? Are you going to buzz your hair? What are you going to do?
I think I'm gonna cut my hair off. I know people freak out. And then plus, there was that show Felicity, and she cut her hair, and then the show tanked, and then David Russell had to apologize to the world for giving her a haircut. So it's been a thing, but there's other parts I want to do. So plus it's just nice to mix it up.
Yeah.
I try to do things outside my comfort zone every once in a while. Yes. But yeah, I'll probably get that. I'll probably get several tattoos as well. Yeah, I don't know. I just want to do a bunch of stuff, and then of course I don't want to do anything at all. So
yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
I get you. I'm the same age as you guys, so it's like we want people like you guys. I want to see the people I grew up watching. I want to continue to see you in shows and movies and stuff. Thank you for your career. We wish you.
And in the interest of time, I apologize. This will probably be our last question, so I apologize to y'all right there. Thank you guys. Go for it.
With the various writers and directors that you've worked with over the years, what would you say is the #1 skill that you've learned in what to do and what not to do on set?
Thank you letters and be nice. And no, emails don't count. This industry, like I said, it's finding people that are, people use the word, oh, I'm so real, I don't really get around because Elliot's so plastic and unreal. Those people are plastic, fake. It's rare that you meet a lot of real people, just be nice. It's rare. And like anything else, it's like people want to do movies with people that they want to spend time with, being a good actor is not incredibly rare, but being a good actor and being nice and having people want to be around you is fucking rare. So, the skills are not rare in Hollywood. I would say more so than acting, it's writing. To find a good writer is rare. But then again, they don't have to be nice. You don't need to see them, they can be in a room, they can just churn out good material. That's rare. But actors that are like, that don't have burnt bridges, it's like, it's rare. And I think that holds in any industry. Just be nice, be grateful, be thankful, be generous. A lot of people think, success is measured by what you have, and really, in your old age, you realize it's measured by what you give. And nobody's on their deathbed going, if only I would have done Top Gun Part 3. They're really on their deathbed going, man, it's you want to be significant in somebody's life. You want people to go, that motherfucker. Just be nice.
Alrighty, thank you very much. Sean, you will always be my Indiana Jones. Thank you.
Thank you. That's the end of our time. A round of applause for Sean Norman here. Thank you guys for coming out. We're going to the table, I think. Spend more time with them. Thank you guys. Again, one more round of applause for Sean back
Thank you. It's not lost on us, guys, that we did this 20-something years ago. And you still come and you still want to ask questions about this movie. So God bless you all. Thank you very much. It's an honor and a privilege.